Welcome to a lesson on articles, a, an, the, and no article. Let's read a newspaper article, a newspaper story, and we will look at how they use the articles, how they use the words a, an, the, and no article. So we've got one from today's newspaper. Let's read aloud. Have millions been taking antidepressants with harmful side effects for decades, when there's no scientific evidence they do what they claim? Some experts have suspected it for years. Now patients have been left reeling by a groundbreaking study. So there's our first article there, by a groundbreaking study. Notice it's the first time we mention the study. A study is countable as well. That's very important. You can't use a with uncountable nouns, but a study, as in a piece of research, is countable, certainly. And when you introduce something for the first time, when you mention something for the first time, and you are introducing it to existence, very often with the verb to be or to have, although that's not true here, it's a preposition before it, you very often see an a. Yeah, so now patients have been left reeling by a groundbreaking study. And we will tell you about the groundbreaking study in this article. And notice that the a changes to the as soon as you mention it a second time. Okay, new research shows the theory justifying antidepressants is just a myth. Well, maybe the theory is incorrect rather than it just being a myth. But let's look at these two words, the theory. Now, why do we use the theory here? Well, because we actually define which theory with a participle phrase justifying antidepressants. Yet the theory that justifies antidepressants. We are defining which theory. The theory that justifies antidepressants. The theory that says that happiness and sadness can be measured in serotonin levels. Yeah, that theory, that particular theory, that specific theory. And so we need a specific article, the definite article. Yeah, we use the definite article when we make the noun specific with a participle phrase or with a relative clause. We need that definite article. Yeah. So new research shows the theory justifying antidepressants is just a myth. Notice the verb to be. Yeah, the verb to be introduces things to existence. For example, there is a God. Yeah, now even if you are Christian or Muslim or Jewish, and you only believe in one God, you still must say there is a God. And that should be strange. Yeah, it certainly seems strange to me, because when you say a woman, a man, you make it really clear that there are many other women and many other men out there. That's what the a means. It basically means one of many, and it doesn't matter which one. Well, why do you say there is a God if you are a monotheist, if you only believe in one God? And the answer is, well, you're introducing that one God into existence with the verb is. There is a God. And here, new research shows that the theory which justifies antidepressants, that specific theory, is a myth. Yeah, and so we very often use the word a, or the article a, when we're introducing something into existence. And we are here, we're saying that it's just a myth, this new research. The theory that justifies antidepressants is just a myth. I find that quite strange to call a theory a myth. I don't think a theory can be a myth. A theory is a hypothesis, and it's either true or false, and this one happens to be false. Okay, let's look at the next sentence. The research confirms. Now, we need to use the here. Notice it's the second time we've mentioned it. And please do notice that the first time we didn't say the new research. We just said new research. Now, why is that? Well, research is uncountable. And with uncountable nouns, you can't use an a or an an before it. Even if you're introducing it for the first time, you can't. What you have to do, if you're introducing it for the first time, is use nothing nothing at all. And so you say research shows, and that makes it clear that this is the first time you've mentioned the research, and so you don't use any article. Yeah, new research shows the theory justifying antidepressants is just a myth. And then we say the research, and we mean that new research that we've just mentioned. Yeah, so when you introduce an uncountable noun for the first time, you don't use anything. When you introduce a countable noun for the first time, you use an a, yeah, or an an. Okay, so the research we've just mentioned, confirms what some medical professionals, yeah, and notice we use the quantifier some instead of an article there. But what some medical professionals, and by the way, we can get rid of the some. The research confirms what medical professionals have long suspected, and that would be fine. And the reason why this would be without an article, medical professionals, is because it's plural. Now, I see plural nouns and uncountable nouns as very similar. And what I mean here is that plural nouns very often have no article when you are talking about them in the general sense. When you mean all and any or every medical professional. When it doesn't matter which medical professional. We often just say medical professionals then, with no article. If you say the medical professionals, it sounds like the medical professionals that work in this hospital, or the medical professionals that agree with me. Something like that, yeah, where you are really specific and you mean just one group of medical professionals. That's when you use a the. But when you mean all, any medical professionals, you don't use anything. Well, you can use some, or you can just use nothing at all. The research confirms what medical professionals have long suspected. Yeah, well, have suspected. And what I have long suspected as well, which is that you can't find happiness in a chemical. Just like you can't find happiness in alcohol. Okay, let's look at the next one. Depression, being a chemical imbalance, has been proven to be unfounded. So here it's the fact of depression being or the idea, let's put it like that, the hypothesis of depression being a chemical imbalance has been proven to be unfounded. Now notice we've got an a before a chemical imbalance, and I think we use a very often with quantitative expressions. A lack of, a lot of, a few of, an increase of, a decrease of. And this, a balance, an imbalance, it is describing a quantity really. And it's not important which imbalance, is it? And this is why with